more clear, but thanks.
So again, thank you everyone for coming. Here you go. We're gonna be talking about. It was bugging me. We're gonna be talking about views on ocean life. So I'm gonna show you some videos, some with sound, some without sound. Don't mind the person in front.
I feel like I should go away.
No, you're fine.
Just scoop down there. Nine.
No sound? Is that
9 minutes?
No sound. No sound.
No sound dolphins. 9 minutes.
That's,
Oh,
We're not watching the whole
I
thing.
know.
Yeah,
Can
what was
you do sounds?
Was it
No.
dolphin do down there?
I know.
Had his nose somewhere.
You're serious? Or you watch this with me?
No. Just 1 minute.
This is
That's all.
I don't know if we're gonna do it.
It's 9
Joe.
minutes.
No. I feel you.
37 seconds.
I feel you.
Looks like they're having fun.
I like
Hey,
how
is he
that one's
missing
spotted.
his-
That's adorable.
So, what are some feelings? What are some emotions that you have after watching that video?
Peace. Cuteness.
It's happy.
I don't
Curiosity.
like when humans interact with wild animals.
So closely like that.
So yeah, like they should just be left alone.
He's from my
We don't mess with the camels.
That's what I'm saying. You don't touch the long meat.
My mom didn't know
So what are the reasons why? What are some reasons why you feel that way?
I just have a lot of respect for animals, and I feel like they've been put on this earth just like we have, and I feel like we tend to. We were just talking about this in the kitchen.
Could you repeat it, please?
I feel like we as humans are destroying this earth, and I feel like animals are a big part of it. And I mean, there's so many so many species that are going extinct or on the verge of extinction or have already gone extinct, and the majority of it is due to human interaction with these animals.
Okay.
And we put animals into zoos where they're in captivity. I don't know. I have a serious issue with all of that.
Okay. Any other feelings that come?
I totally felt happy when I saw the dolphins.
Until I ruined it for you.
Just one of the things that came to mind is curiosity. I mean, I saw some social behaviors between the dolphins in that short clip. Like, it's like one dolphin, she or he had her nose like somewhere underneath it. It's like, what is that?
What are they doing?
I don't understand them. Just curiosity, curious point of view.
And then you said happy also. Why do you feel that?
I mean, in that clip, they just seemed free, floating, just kind of doing their own thing in a way. At least in that constrained box of the YouTube video.
I would agree. That's exactly.
Anyone else? Okay.
I'll just go last.
Yeah. What are some? So we've already touched on it. So what are some of the emotions that you associate, like not just from the clip, but like in general? What are some emotions that you associate with dolphins?
Happy. They characterize dolphins like in cartoons as friendly and
Did you say feelings that we
playful.
feel?
Yeah.
I also feel like dolphins, I've always seen them, or like they're, promoted and stuff, like when you're in tropical places, so it's like free vacation.
Vacation.
Time,
But I have seen and heard of dolphins and it's freaky.
Wait.
Like swim next to our boat and I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to fall over. Because they're wild. They're
Right.
like wild animals.
So you're in the wrong neighborhood.
Right. Hey, Holmes. I don't know. No, but I mean, like animals in in their natural environment, like they're still animals. They
Right.
have instincts, so
Yeah.
it's still kind of scary because
Yeah.
you don't know
Right.
what they're gonna do.
Okay. Last question for this, and then we're gonna watch another short clip. When you hear about conservation, dolphin conservation, what do you think? Like any things that pop into your head about dolphin conservation?
The Cove
Mm.
comes to mind, which is a documentary about Cove in Japan where
That's right.
it's this little bay area where Japanese fishermen hunt and kill dolphins on a daily basis. I think I remember, and the day starts with this beautiful bay with hundreds and maybe thousands of dolphins, and it ends in just a blood
Oh my god.
battlefield. It just looks horrible.
That's so
And there are fish there for dolphin meat to be sold in Japanese fish markets.
Mm.
That's what. So in conservation, I think of that. I also think of the commercialization of dolphins through theme parks like SeaWorld and water sea life, things like that.
Mhm.
Okay.
I think of like. Oh, you go ahead.
I'll just make this short. I think, I guess when you hear conversation, I think it ties into the opposite of what it's not. I think the film, The Cove, it's like conservation also means that that population is dying at the same time. So there's like a sadness equated to it. So that was
I feel like it almost comes as a reactive thing. Like once we realize it's almost too late, that's when we begin to do something about it.
I was just gonna say, I think of like things I've seen or read about how our pollution of the ocean so negatively impacts dolphins, and I think people really like dolphins. So I think that when they are trying to like convince you to be more aware of like your waste in the ocean, they like use dolphins as like, oh, this is really affecting them.
Because we're so favorable to dolphins.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. So now we're gonna watch another short clip. Only a minute. Don't.
Is there sound?
No sound.
What is he doing? He's petting it.
Is that a shark?
What kind of shark is that?
It's a lemon shark.
do they like
I like that.
He loves it.
Airman can't get a dog.
I feel like if I was
I
that
know.
shark, I'd want to smack him up.
What? I thought hello because he's not stopping.
Let me shove my fin up your nostril.
Right now,
I guess he likes that. Oh, he's
that's how you pet them.
Oh, there's flash
I
too.
know.
This is not good.
I thought they didn't like that.
I know.
What is going on?
How do you know it's a
Aren't you
lemon shark?
supposed to
Those
punch
are-
a
That's
shark
what I've
in the
heard.
nose? Maybe
like
that's
avoid
just
an
a certain.
attack. I thought that was just like a Dane Cook joke.
certain.
Never really free. Like a toothpick. Back into the
Wonder-
box. Tell it to be. You're getting audio.
Oh, yeah.
Just a reminder. So yeah, that was obviously the first one was humans interacting with dolphins, and then now we saw a video of humans interacting with sharks. So same questions. What are some of the emotions you have after watching this video?
I thought it was so cute. Because the scuba diver was petting the shark. It just reminded me of a human petting a dog. I mean,
I feel like fear.
Oh, I'm gonna go
for
last.
me. I think sharks are scary.
You said what?
Fear.
Okay.
like I agree that I think sharks are scary, but I feel like it kind of shows the sharks in a different light because they're not being aggressive in any way. But at the same time, I didn't like this video as much as the dolphin one because I felt like it was way more invasive.
Yeah.
Like the people were with the dolphins in the other one, but this one he's like literally touching him for the whole minute of the video, which was like, okay, give the guy a break, you know?
So it goes along with like what
Yeah.
Peter was saying.
It's like this made me pissed because this is exactly what I mean by we tend to overstep our boundaries and we just go too far. And we should just, if we want to observe him for curiosity, it's one thing. But he's I don't know. I lost the words.
But there's nothing bad happening. Like there's
Nothing
just
bad
nothing-
happening, but it's just we're going to their habitat and we don't know if
It's
how
a
the
slippery
shark
slope.
feels about what he's doing, and it's just like
Yeah. And I mean, now the shark is okay with this. Well, like, let's take it one step further
Mhm.
and see like what we can get away
Right.
with next.
I'm really curious about who this person is and what this whole interaction is about and why this is occurring. Because if it's for the benefit of shark, the perception of sharks by humans, then there might be a positive reason for it. Or if there's a study or some sort of research happening, that's what I'm curious. Because if things always as the aggressor, this then kind of makes me feel a little better. But I'm just curious. I think this when you first started the film, or the video, curiosity.
In the video, but overall emotions towards what sort of feelings and emotions do you associate with sharks and why?
Fear.
Yeah, fear definitely.
These films, Jaws, just their look. Many sharks have large teeth.
But I think also going off of that and going off of what Chantel said earlier, like I wouldn't go in an ocean full of dolphins either. Like
Yeah.
even though they are more friendly than sharks, like I would still be scared regardless.
I think I like sharks though. I think
Yeah, but would you go swimming
They're
with one?
actually-
Would you go like?
no, but I've been in the water and I have seen them, and I'm like, oh shit, I don't know if I can swim fast enough. I don't know if I'm a good enough swimmer to like get away. But I think they're cool. Like I like looking at them, and they're soft.
for me it would be fear, not because it's a shark necessarily, but just because it's a wild animal.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I saw a video the other day of a little girl that was perched on a pier and a little seal came
Oh,
and
yeah,
grabbed her.
Oh no, see, those
Yeah, I
are
saw that.
So it's like-
are-
It's not necessarily just a shark, it's any wild
I've seen
animal.
it.
Yeah.
So it's not this, for you, it's not the image that's associated with this specific animal, it's just,
Wild animal.
Right.
They have instincts to
I
hunt
agree.
and to find
Yeah.
food, and sometimes we are the food that they're hunting, maybe by mistake,
Yeah.
maybe just because they're hungry, they have no other food source.
so this is not one of the questions, but it goes off of what you said and what you're saying, like, so you said this, I saw that video too, the little girl, like the person sits her down
Yeah.
right there. So I don't know if you've all seen this
Yeah,
video.
survivors.
He sits her down, and there's a seal or a sea lion right there in the water, and I guess they're taking a picture, and the seal or sea lion goes up and grabs her and yanks her right into the water.
Yeah.
So, and then what made me think of it with you, you said he's petting them like they're puppies, right? So where do you think this disconnect of like the fact that these are wild animals, like you said, where do you think that is coming from? Where do you think that stems from?
The human interacting with them. I think that's where it's coming
Yeah.
from. The human. If you remove the human, how would we feel after that? After watching the videos of the sharks interacting with, or just watching them. That's it. Sole
Mhm.
purpose of the sharks. Remove the human. How are we feeling about after that?
I feel like the internet and social media has made it worse because you have people who are interacting.
Or shark attacks, we've been having those most
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah, that's true.
Cool. And then finally for this part, when you hear about shark conservation, what are you thinking about and why?
I see the same thing as dolphins.
Okay.
Isn't there like they harvested for their fins or something?
Yeah, that's a pretty common thing. Shark fin soup is a pretty common thing in different parts of the world.
For the certain species.
No. Yeah. Okay.
I was just gonna say, like, as
Don't be eating shark fin soup anymore, will you?
I've never had it. Thank you very much. I didn't even know it was a thing until I first got the show.
But as much as like I think people can be afraid of sharks, I think there's still like respect for them as wild animals. So like I don't think most people would want to see them become extinct. Like to me, it's kind of like a lion is obviously like a dangerous animal, and like we would be afraid to be around it. It's the same as sharks, but like these are things we want to preserve because you have respect for like animals and nature. And I think like I don't know. I was just thinking about. Like there's this movie that came out where someone goes in the shark cage. Has anyone
Oh
seen
yeah,
that
it's the two girls and then the
Yeah.
thing breaks, of course.
And I think, yeah, like people do that, and I always think that's really strange that people, and like you were kind of saying, like really invasive, and like SeaWorld and stuff, like really sad. But I think like overall, most people would want to like conserve.
Okay. Cool. Anything else? Okay. So now, Melissa, I'm not sure how the volume is going to be on the next two, because we actually do have to have sound, but you're welcome. So now we're going to look at a couple of movie trailers.
Oh, are we gonna watch one of the ones that?
I don't know. Who knows? So do you have like the remote, so just in case it's blowing our ears out? Is it right?
You're
Okay.
good, I just checked it.
Okay, cool. Hopefully we have some sound.
This is a trailer.
The movie trailer, yeah.
Oh, perfect.
In this changing world, it's harder than ever to find someone extraordinary.
Morgan Freeman.
But
Yeah,
every
of course.
time a symbol of hope breaks through. And this time, her name
How long has she been here?
is Winter.
Sounds off.
Hey, Paul, he just wanted to see how she's doing. She's not good. She's in pretty bad shape. She really seems to respond to you.
We can't make her want to, she's gonna have to do that part on her own.
It was too infected. And that's why it had to come off. She can live. She can't swim.
Oh yeah.
There's gotta be a solution. Excuse me.
It's God.
What can I do for you? I was under the impression I was here to do something for you.
I was afraid you'd say no. You are
I can't hear you.
tomorrow, and that is it. Period. That's your bootleg version of the trailer.
Right?
Impossible. Trying to put a tail on my fist. Nobody's right mind will even try. Luckily, I'm not.
Not what?
In our right mind, they saw a reason to risk it all. That dolphin straight in the soul somewhere. You can't give up on
I mean, she likes you.
But imagine my delight.
What? Going thing? You like the duck, right?
It's getting worse. It's getting further off.
Stop. Elvin's the only one on point. I know. All the animals know that it's looking up around. You're the most amazing animal. My friend that I've ever known. I hope you love her as much as I do.
Say something about it. Next,
Yeah.
You're not gonna ask us?
uh-oh.
Ladies ready?
Maybe more.
Was this
Yeah.
She finally has a movie?
Oh my god.
A long time remember. And that's all she
true.
a long ago. Joe Merrill was Spanish. He does not. I just died.
I would just,
I know.
Like,
the walkers start coming, just come.
yeah.
That's her first mistake right there, number one.
Getting out of the cage?
Yes.
What movie is it? The Winter in the Water?
It's pretty minimalist. You know? 2 people in both.
It's like those space movies. 47 meters down.
Stay.
Versus
I mean,
Dolphin.
clearly.
I think so. I mean, it was hard to tell.
So in general, concerning these two, but also in general, how does the media represent sharks versus dolphins?
Dolphin equals friend, shark equals enemy.
Yeah. Okay, as we were watching the shark one, I was thinking, obviously, about the difference between the dolphins and the sharks and how I was trying to think of shark movies, and all of them are pretty negative, obviously, but then I was thinking of Finding Nemo. And the shark in there, Bruce, he's like kind of more positively portrayed. That's
They're on the men's.
Good point.
Yes.
So so the final 2 questions are pretty yes or no, but I would like to dive into the whys. Does the media's representation of sharks affect public perception of your perception of these animals, and why?
It does influences because you're obviously, I mean, the media does it just for the sole purpose of, getting the attention and getting, like, I guess, more publicity. Like, oh, did you watch Jaws? Like, oh my God. It just gets more publicity for it. And of course, publicity equals money. So I think that's why it's like an enemy, I guess, we view as sharks. So I mean, that's how I perceive it.
So do you think they wouldn't make as much money if it was like a friendly shark?
Exactly, like a dolphin. Like, I mean, I don't think it would. Is a dolphin scary looking? No. It's a shark. I think it's based on physical appearance. Yes.
There's always those like genre blending movies, like a shark in New York City, like a parody. Maybe that might make some money. But
Sharknado.
yeah, I haven't seen it yet, actually.
So Shark Week, expand, please.
I can barely, I've never watched Shark Week, but I know it's a thing that people love to watch.
It's coming up.
I would
We
say
think
it's
it's
a
a
positive.
thing.
I would
End of
say
July,
that it's a
mark your
positive
calendars.
thing.
Yeah.
Shark Week is a positive thing because I mean, it's like trying to get more knowledge out there and more, I guess, awareness of like what's going on with the shark.
And then, I'm sorry. I thought you were gonna say
I would say, so coming back to your question, if I can, you're saying how has media shaped public perception,
Yes.
and ours specifically.
Yeah.
I think that as I was growing up, what was coming from the media and from these production companies was mostly horror films that, like Jaws and things like that, Deep Blue Sea, I remember. But more recently, it's changing with things from the Discovery Channel and a little bit more awareness of how that perception was so built on maybe one species of, or one breed of sharks. Species of sharks. And not, it wasn't a comprehensive look at what these animals were.
Yeah, you have to wonder if the media subjectivity actually doesn't enhance our perception of sharks, because we watch it and then maybe at the end of it we have to ask, this really can't be how it is. There has to be more to this than this one side. I mean, yeah, they're predators, they're animals, but I'm sure there's sides that we don't see, obviously.
I wonder, in questioning or in this focus group, are you taking any type of education background, any type of demographic look at who you're asking?
Good question.
It's a good question. This focus group,
Thank you.
the sample would be referred to as a convenience sample. Yeah.
Who was ever close by?
Not saying you're just convenient.
On the technical speaking side, yes.
She brings up a good point though. It'd be interesting to ask our students, for example, what their answers to these questions.
So to answer that more directly, and I am not on the focus group side, but on more of a survey quantitative side. I am looking into, beachgoers versus fishermen point of view on.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And then the last question is, along those same lines, does the media influence maybe the feel of a need of shark conservation?
I don't like that. Yeah, I don't feel like
Not as,
No.
Meaning they don't influence your thinking on it. They don't advertise it.
I don't think I see any. Well, I don't know. I don't watch a lot of cable.
Yeah,
either.
that's how I am too.
But I
maybe
feel
on
like-
Shark Week they might advertise it.
Yeah. But I don't feel like there's any kind of PSA on it,
Right.
or even when you're out walking the streets, there's people out there that are like, "You want to donate to save the children?" Yeah, I don't really see a lot of the animal perspective on that. It's usually helping youth or children or whatever.
Dogs.
Some human cause, yeah.
And dolphins.
Even dolphins, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Dolphins,
never-
whales,
Yeah.
ASPCA or whatever that is,
Mhm.
never specifically the sharks.
Cool. Well, thank you all very much. Like I said, it was much shorter. And give yourselves a round of applause.